It's the mark of booty.
Shit. Nah. Love the royal priesthood. Mark of Buddha. Sekou the madman. Killer priest. Fourth chambers, full Fuji. This beat sound like something I wear. You dig? Yo, hold on, my people. Why you walking around like you equal? They wrote you in as 3/5. What we gonna do about this? Talk too much, you end up like Jimi Hendrix in 27 Club. You want that knowledge? Well, I'm the plug. Knowledge itself is the drug. And I keep dropping the nugs. Culture pushing, wisdom spitting. Pimping simpletons into listening. Y'all know why you spewing fiction. I can feel the tensions in your intentions. I wonder if that's John's in heaven. If God is white, why he write that bronze of the sun? They give us reparations. That's when the apocalypse begun. Yeah. Red rhyme, okay. Yeah. Red rhyme, better rhyme. Grab your guns, daughters and sons. Wasn't long ago when they had his hung. Blood on the leaves, frontal crumbled in between. Exhale for my ancestors that prevailed. We inhale, so we inhale, dodging death every day. Just happy I'm here to tell the tale. Meanwhile, y'all with the pigs and them tattletales. I'ma just be a scientist if it all fails. Mixing chemicals like a cocktail. My trees smell like it's from the tropical. So not for sale, never settle. Follow the tears on the trail. Nah.
That whole African American thing is to omit, you see, the indigenous black man of this particular land. When we brought the African American term, we cut out all of the Caribbean, all of South America, all of Latin America. And this is another way to reclassify you, you see what I'm saying, outside of power.
We got blacks, whites, brown and yellow. We got red, those with dreads found from the ghetto. We got bullet led and misled, the smile of the devil. On the face of the moon, heart pound like a rebel. Hear the sound on the metal. War in Iraq, 6 feet underground with the shovel. All over the map, the Bible said signs of the time. The Torah said that's your God, not mine. The Holy Quran says it's all Allah's design. The Buddhist says let's meet at the shrine. Thou shalt not eat of the swine. That you is the cut, sure as blue as the blood. Killer priests in the temple, Nehru is the love.
That's a political move that was put in by the government to break you down to this subclass, you see, and not be a world community. So to call you an African American is to disconnect you from that global community and that great diaspora that we were talking about. So that's a political move. Yes, come on. The average Native American was this brother's complexion at the turn of the century. Now when you say Native American, it's some white person with a feather in his hair.
All right, peace and blessings. Welcome to another episode of Do Not Radio Place for Knowledge Born. It's your host, Knowledge Born Alive. Almost at the start said, peace and blessings, Starseed. You understand what I'm saying? I had to remember where I was at. I'm like, I'm over here. Okay, I'm over here, but we all is one. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm here with a mastermind on this Moon Day celebration. So we got a magical, mystical creator up in here today. You understand what I'm saying? When I heard the guy come over here, and I was like, come back. You understand what I'm saying? I was like, come back. I was like, whatever's going on right now, I need him to come back. All right, don't stay away too long. Like, come on back. It was like, yeah, who's that guy? He was sounding all mystical, and he had bars every time he said something. And I was like, yeah, I know. They're like, bring him back. You don't come back. I'm like, but ain't this my show? We don't care. We don't want to hear from you too much. We want to hear from him. So I'm like, all right, no doubt. I'm a reach out. You understand what I'm saying? So it becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, my Cancerian master channeler up in here, the conduit of divine, the conduit of cosmic mother, the conduit of source to bring us a message of empowerment and share his journey on this path. My Starseed Dream Team brother, okay? The hippie from Queens. Let's give it up for the one. Let me see if I can get it right. King Adonnis in the building. You understand what I'm saying? King Adonnis.
Hey,
oh yeah, we got bombs today.
Got it.
We got bombs today.
I'm happy
Be present, happy and grateful to be alive. Shout out to everybody tapping in today. Shout out to their body. Shout out to their ancestors. Shout out to being present, because you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here rocking with us in the present, on the replay, on the foreplay, but we all here
Hey,
present. So much gratitude.
Brittany Vibes in the chat. Shout out to Brittany Vibes. Okay? Because Brittany is a vibe and she brings the vibes. All right. Yeah. Britt got to come back too. Come back, Britt. Come back. All right. Come back, Britt. All right. So it's Moon Day. I'm turned up for Mother. Mother has showed up so greatly in this last couple of weeks, and the energy been super duper strong, super duper 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 strong. You understand what I'm saying? So I want to give you the floor to explain what mother means to you in this cosmic mother divine alignment space we find ourselves in, especially leaving out of Pisces and going into Aries. Okay, Aries is coming in hot. Like, yo, what's
Mm,
up?
mm,
What's good? I thought you had said something. I thought somebody was looking for me. Here I go. Understand what I'm saying? So King Adonnis, bless us, you know what I'm saying? Bless
right.
us with how you see that and where we at in regards to that.
Well, it's first and foremost, it's a miracle to be present, to be in this space and time for society, for the world. I mean, we got so much happening on the world stage, and being grounded and centered in our own personal day-to-day interactions is essential. And being it seems like it's becoming more and more chaotic. Um, but in that chaos energy, it's the primordial, it's the energy of creation. And this is for me where I've learned to anchor my energy into the mother, right? And for me, the mother, I'm an only child, so I grew up as with just me and my mom, being the ones who would like go out and take care of things, and being that support. They used to call me my mother's shadow, because I was always with her so much. And my mom's a Taurus, and she's very stubborn, and she's very honorable. She's very loving. She's very kind and compassionate. And I've learned to appreciate motherhood in itself by watching my mother be a mother to not only to myself but to the community. And as a Cancer, that is the mother, that's the home, that's the family. But before I even got into any of the spiritual stuff, I was just a teenage kid growing up in New York City. And New York City is such a diverse, dynamic, and ecosystem and environment that it allowed me, where my mother allowed me the beauty to be able to say yes to opportunities and learn from her story, and to be the mirror of her divine essence in such a way that honors my own vessel, but also honors her original primordial essence. Because for me, the mother, like my mother, she shows up for me each and every day. And that's where like my connection to the cosmic mother, the great cosmic mother, has been so profound on my journey, my personal journey, because it's through the remembrance of the mother, of the water, of the feminine, and being able to be so feminine, um, that has shown me how to be a safe space for divine feminine, for divine masculines that haven't been able to nurture themselves, um, or even the children that are looking for parents and need more attention and support, and in a motherly way, or in a fatherly. Because the thing about my mother, I learned how my mother could be my mother and my father at the same time, because she always showed up. My mother did not miss a single parent teacher conference, not one. And it was the consistency, Every time one was coming up, I knew that she was going to be there. So also having that reliability and accountability to come through that my mother, because I've seen in the world, in the reflection, the disrespect or the intolerance of the mother. Because for me, I get baffled when, I get shocked or put in a sense of awe when I come across individuals who don't have that type of genuine or like authentic relationship with their mothers, because we all come from the mother. We all come from the mother, and from it's to the mother we return. And with that being said, it's because we recognize the masculine and the feminine of each and every body and each and every principle. And for the mother to come through in such a way where she's literally anchoring us into higher realms of leadership, sovereignty, and foundation on an astrological level, the the mother is representative of the Cancer and the Capricorn axis, which is the mother and the father, and how that bridges. It's the structure, it's the intuition, it's where your being is established. It's the I'm hearing the dynamic light of the I am. So that was channeled. Um, and the mother is so essential to embrace that I am presence, because without or with the mother's energy guiding us at all times, whether we know it or not, it's another way to look at what we identify as the matrix, because the matrix is the mother, and the mother carries the womb, and the womb carries the creation for us to expand. And in that, I see the Empress card. I see the fertility. I see the mother. Excuse me. I see a divine feminine in her earthly essence, being able to cradle the world, being able to cradle her earth. Because in the supreme mathematics, or my godfather, his name was Knowledge, and he taught me that we recognize the divine feminine as our earths, and the earth being the body, and that body being your most important spiritual technology. Because if you don't have your human body, you're not going to have a human experience. And this is where we get into superhuman connections with the divine mother.
I heard what he said. Okay. I heard what he said. And he just get thought like he ain't even warm up. He just, you know what I'm saying, a little tat tat, little tat tat tat. You know what I'm saying? A little tat 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 tat, real quick. All right. So if you can, King Adonnis, walk us through your spiritual journey. Like, did the spiritual journey find you? Did you find it? How did it kind of coalesce, go together? What was that symbiotic relationship like?
For me, it started with my mom. She introduced me to, well, my mom would always introduce me. I used to have dreams as a child, like teaching people how to fly, and I would have magic shows, or I would have a bunch of instruments in the living room, and each instrument would have its own chair, and then I would be the like orchestrator, orchestrating all the imaginary beings playing the instruments, and just having a lot of fun with myself. My family, they made sure that I was well prepared and entertained, or kept my focus in like scholarly things. So like for me, growing up learning, I've always been attracted to like knowledge and wisdom and information. So like my mom didn't give me a tablet to play when I was growing up. I was doing workbooks. I was doing book reports. My mom basically homeschooled me for a brief period. And in that, by the time I went to like preschool and elementary school, I already knew everything that they were doing. So it was kind of like, um, I was watching them play catch up. or just being in that present moment to like to go over the things over and over again, so that whenever I was being presented with a lesson, it never felt like the first time. It always felt like something that I could remember. And I say that what really kicked it off was the pandemic and the plandemic, more or less, where I was working at Sonic in Valley Stream, and I was a car hop, so I would be on my roller skates doing 12, 13-hour shifts, and I would be able to go back and forth to Buffalo State College, where I went to, and, you know, work in part-time over the summers and traveling between that. So by the time like my junior year came, I had a revelation or an epiphany around that whole energy exchange, which was essentially me recognizing that if I wanted to be the change that I wanted to see in the world, that I was going to have to continue to educate myself in a way that I wouldn't be able to find in an external system, or, excuse me, in education system of indoctrination. And recognizing the indoctrination and the lies and the stories has been second nature for me growing up, because I'm from my I'm from Southside Jamaica, Queens, and it's crazy, but my family is from the South, born and raised in like Maryland, whole mother side, in all up and down the East Coast, more or less, right? But I say that to say that when I was a child growing up, for me, I spent my summers in Baltimore at going to convocation, having to have all my outfits planned out for each day, and then Bible study on Tuesday, and then, you know, you get a one day break, but then we right back at it next week, because my family is a part of the ministry, or they're long time. Like my family has been going to the same church for over 25 plus years. Like family ties go deep in that realm. But it also gave me opportunity for like to be on the West Coast, where I got to spend time with my father's family and being in nature and grounding and camping and fishing and being in nature, and getting a really good sense of like adaptability with the nature principles as well. So for me, when I started taking my spirituality more intensely, I started to work with the Orishas. And the Orishas are just another representation of that internal natural force that is within every one of us and around us. And I was living on my Pluto line on the West Coast. And from that experience, that Pluto really transformed a lot of what I knew to be true into more perspective. I was in a very interesting relationship at the time, and that relationship taught me about the difference in culture, and how culture in America is seen, especially when we're speaking from the diaspora. As a nine of diamonds, the nine of diamonds represents the African diaspora and the voices within, and recognizing that culture, recognizing that embrace of familiarity and family dynamics and positions was so essential for me personally, because it allowed me to be able to navigate different ecosystems, and to show up in different spaces as my authentic self, no matter how the perception may be perceived. Because we have so much culture, we have so much uh, change happening in the liberator spaces, confirmation, for the internal and external realms. And being able to be of sound mind, sound vibration, and a sound being within, and still be able to float amongst the collective and all the different spaces and vortexes, that it transitioned and pivoted me into a deeper sense of study. And in that study, it's Socrates says, thyself one must know. And in the study of myself, it was me really seeking for confirmation or clarity about the things that I was experiencing. And in my experiences, it was showing me that slowly but surely, everything that I was thinking and seeing would come into fruition. The universe was showing me how to be a creator. It was showing me how to dance. Like the ocean taught me how to dance when I spent a month in Puerto Rico camping on the beach, in Vieques on the island, and I took a one-way ticket out there. Didn't know how I was getting back. Didn't know what I was gonna be doing when I went there. But the faith and the test, the spirit, was like, the ticket was purchased, and I just trusted that I was going to be okay, and end up being out there for more than a month. So it's the little miracles that the universe and that the life has consistently shown me that I'm on the right path, and just trusting and allowing that energy of faith within myself to inspire others to know that we are in a space that can't necessarily be described with one word or one phrase or one tone, but we are literally in a space of new beginnings and origins, specifically speaking to the Aries energy with Saturn and Neptune just coming into Aries, and then Venus in Aries, and Chiron conjunct Eris in Aries. Like, we're moving into a highly sovereign energy spiritually for ourselves and for individuals operating in the resonance of that light. And this spiritual journey, all in all, is really showing us, myself, and the collective, how to find your people, how to recognize the information, because there's, as we are coming into the age of Aquarius, everybody knows something, and being able to take applied action and wisdom on the knowledge is where the spiritual journey really started.
Did you hear the God say he was living on his Pluto line? Did you hear him say nine of diamonds is diaspora, like African diaspora, the voices of the diaspora, right? Do y'all hear the level of synchronicity? Okay. Y'all know I'm shooting the docu-series Voices of the Diaspora. Y'all know I got 13 ebooks called Voice of the Diaspora ebook series. Do y'all understand? Okay? Do y'all understand the level of connectedness, the interconnectedness on every level? Do y'all hear what's happening over here? All right? Do y'all hear what's happening? All right, so
What Spirit
for
says,
those who not
those don't,
familiar,
they feel it.
go ahead. Yeah. So for those who not familiar what that means to be living on the Pluto line, I want to go there real quick so you can break that down for them. But I'm like, the guy just said, I got this one-way ticket to Puerto Rico, and I was just chilling on the beach in Puerto Rico. So I want to hear the Pluto line breakdown, but then the breakthrough that comes from you traveling solo, and then how that connects from your perspective, being an only child, right? So, do you think you know that was kind of like a propeller for you to be able to uh, deal with that from that perspective, or is there any connectedness, or am I tripping, bugging? Like, what you talking about, fam? Go have a seat. You understand what I'm saying? I got you. So,
It was uh it was a lot because it kind of happened back to back. So because I was living on my Pluto line, Pluto was the energy of transformation. It's the ruler of the eighth house, co-ruler of Scorpio and with Mars. And that Pluto energy is really intense. It's really intense. To speak plainly, when I lived on my Pluto line, I was experiencing a lot of homelessness. Not even for myself, when I think about it, um, because the environment was so intense. like there would be days where I would be catching the bus trying to go to work, and I would see people at the bus stop injecting themselves with heavy substances, and like the guy literally was sticking himself with the same needle over, like with 4 or 5 times all over his body. And it was just like those type of instances, those type of recognitions that people are really going through some really messed up stuff in this life, and everybody's in a different position. Everybody has a different role to play. And being in those types of extremes, it taught me what I was worth. And it taught me that I was able to go out on my own. And it's funny because even while I was in a relationship there, I still came into a space of being alone. And that's one of the worst feelings when you're in a relationship and you still feel like you're by yourself. And liberating myself out of that, I drove across the country by myself in 2.5 days, packed up all of my belongings and got it in my car, and never drove across the country before, but I did it. And I was proud of myself because the 15 backwoods that nourished me along that journey was a symbol of the storm. Because as I made that pilgrimage of liberation from myself, of finally being done and fed up with what wasn't for me, I drove across the country, and as I did, there was 15 tornadoes that took place across the Midwest of the United States. So it was like nature was communicating with me, like I'm going in the right direction. Even when I was driving up in those hills in the mountains and I couldn't see in the fog, and like when you deal with the West Coast energy, there's a lot of truck drivers. So these truck drivers, they don't care how fast you're going, because they're gonna go as fast as they want to. And in that ideology of being able to show up for myself and traverse and travel the land, like to go to Puerto Rico, you don't need a passport. So that's the message. If somebody wants to take a trip to a little island for a little bit, go ahead and treat yourself. But being an only child, for me, I went to my Pluto line to learn my father, to learn the ways of my father, because of the lack of presence, but also to strengthen the connection that was. And in that, we were able to build and converse, and I was able to learn his story. And in learning his story, I was able to forgive him. I was able to forgive my mother. I was able to forgive myself for like resentments and grief and just ideologies, because as children, most of the time we have these ideologies about perfect parenting, and things being seen as on TV, and in reality that was just simply not the case. And in that recognition of how my parents were, like, my parents, they treat me like I feel like my parents treat me like their little sibling, where they give me all the advice and then they allow me the freedom to roam. So because I was allotted that freedom and opportunity to explore for myself, knowing that my parents have literally been like blocked off or cut off. Like my mom, she got opportunities to speak on like news channels and read books, and my grandparents, because of their indoctrination and because of like the church and stuff like that, my elders weren't able to be their fullest selves and be able to present themselves in the highest lights and limelights, and having to navigate the spell work, the global, because we're adept, the global, what do you call that, Babylonian blood magic, sex magic, moon magic, money magic, all these different types of high level sorcery that has been spoken against and defeated at this time, because we are that I am. And knowing that as a soul child, as an individual child, my mother's my mother has made choices that have brought about me coming into the experiences of having siblings, And in those experiences of, I won't call them my stepbrothers because of other reasons that I won't disclose at this time, but for the sake of like the sibling energy, knowing how to share and knowing that it doesn't matter how much love that you can have or share for others. Some people are just simply jealous of the energy. Some people are not familiar, or they weren't raised in that love, in that light. So it's unfamiliar, and sometimes it can be triggering. And in that recognition of the trigger that I am to my environment, I invite like peace and clarity for people to really be able to grasp and center stand the power of a whole being and whole perspective as it relates to the mother and the father and traveling. Because it's the family, and that's where Cancer resides. And even in Leo, like I've got the Leo tattoo right here and the Cancer tattoo right here, but I also have the Aries, and I have the E, and it spells love because that's the blueprint of Source, right? And in my experiential or remembrance of the love within myself, it's about being able to take leadership within my own masculine and feminine, or Arumala and Yemaya, or the sun and the moon, a simple illuminary to shine the light that was given by my own blood and birthright.
Yes, 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 yes. So I was listening to this interview with you earlier with my main man, master astrologist Ra Aku. So now you're gonna have to like, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gonna have to tell me some something other something. You understand what I'm saying? Because Ra Aku he don't be talking to people. You know what I'm saying?
You
He
think
be
that?
talking to people, but he don't be talking to people. You know what I'm talking about. He don't be talking to people. You know what I'm saying? So, what was that like for you? And then how did you get on the path of coaching, guidance, like taking what you learned on your journey and beginning to be a conduit and a source as an entrepreneur for other people?
Well, it was. Yeah, you know what I love about astrology? Everybody has their own way to digest it, and uh, the beauty of my conversation with Ra Ku was a beautiful like bridge and window and a door opening into the tactful science of what delineation really is, and how to be able to tell the difference. I'm hearing the serenity prayer to know the difference and the grace that is so beautiful in serenity. Ashe. Just taking a breath on that. To know the difference in how to delineate, because there's so many different astrological systems, right? Um, Let me backtrack for a little bit. I started this walk in my study of the legalese, in my study of the I want to say Moorish law and the I self law and master, and all these different principles to get to know thyself. Back to Socrates, thyself one must know. And in that, I literally was like, an attorney for myself, being that sovereign being, coaching and like in these streets preaching like, y'all know y'all not supposed to be doing this because of this law, this code, this thing, and y'all need to be doing this because you can have this, you can have this, you can get this remedy, you can get this solution, and we don't have to be a part of, we can do something different. And being that, like carrying that information as well, I was 21. I was 21 years old telling my elders that were 40 and 42 and 45, like, yo, taxes are voluntary, And if you do the knowledge, if you do the research, do the knowledge, you come into the remembrance of like all these different things. And when I recognized that it wasn't for everyone, I went into my human design and I started to retreat. And once I came into the remembrance of like astrology, it was something that I allowed to grow with me. And in that, I started honoring the Chaldeans and the planetary rulership. So planetary rulership is like every day has a planetary ruler. And because every day has a planetary ruler, for instance, today is Monday ruled by the moon. And so we operate within the lunar energy, right? Moon rules Cancer. So we operate in divine alignment and synchronicity for those that have the eye to see and the ear to listen, as well as being able to delineate the daily hours. So like when we first started the live at 8:08, we moved into the Mercury hour or the Mercury aura, which is, the first part of Horus or horoscope. It's the time tellers or timekeepers, and being able to decipher how the wheels of time or the wheels of change, these cycles, these patterns and rotations play out. Oh my goodness. One of the most like revelation, like remembrances that just came through, I have an experience of learning lessons, and I always caught myself learning lessons, and they would never be the same experience, but it would be the same lesson through different experiences or different vessels or different bodies. And once I started getting more frustrated and like recognizing like there's something here to that, like there's a pattern recognition, there's a pattern being recognized. And once I started recognizing those patterns, it aligned me with before I got aligned with Ra Cool, I was aligned with the lab coat astrologer, which is his cousin, and he does a lot of work on YouTube and on TikTok. And by studying the difference or the detail in doing things by hand, like actually drawing out charts, actually like looking at the difference in the charts and reading the books and writing out all of my different astrological degrees. One thing I learned from my time with Sifu Oyi-san was to body your chart. And in that group, I learned how to know my entire natal chart by mind and even some asteroids. But in that in that conversation with Ra'aku, it reminded me that astrology is a tool, and to use the tool to assist the life. And from this life or from like that encounter, what I'm remembering in the present is how it opened the doorway for the science of getting rich. And in the science of getting rich, it's I forget the author at this time, but the book really speaks to doing things in a certain way. And that certain way is about being able to create and orchestrate a from the original substance, and that original substance brings us back to the mother, brings us back to that primordial ki or chi, or that primordial chaos or energy, And astrologically speaking, when we identified like how that substance works within the observation, it opened more doors into human design, into the I Ching, into like the cards of destiny, the cards of life, into so many different schools of thought and metaphysics, because it all came from the ancient system of observation and being able to observe and listen first. That's why I do my fast that was spoken before, is being able to be quiet and listen first, listen to the elders, and being able to be in this youthful body and be around all the different elders and be like the fly on the wall, like J-Rock, and just to listen to the stars, to the spheres, because as I grew with astrology, it came into the gene keys, which is about the hologenetic body and the hologenetic profile. And what that showed was how to flow in a zone of genius, how to be in the energy of our primordial gifts. I feel like this it's a lot of different metaphysics in it, but this is what happens when you get into the esoteric, into the gnosis. Because one thing that I will say, and then I'll end with this, that my first ever research paper when I got to college was on religion. And what I learned from that is that religion, all forms of religion, spirituality, are systems. They are moral and integral codes, values. This is my Virgo speaking, my Virgo moon. Our moral and integral codes and our values and our systems, to be able to identify the details. And once I identified the details, I saw the devil. And once I got to know the devil, he told me where to find God. And then I found out that they were one and the same. And this is why I don't discriminate or disassociate from wherever anybody is, because there's always a place and a path to return.
I'm gonna play something real quick. I see the Starseed mother. The reason why we is all here. The reason that we here up in here. You understand what I'm saying? The reason
why we feel the feelings.
Okay. The Starseed gatherer, the Starseed mother. She said she be hurting cats. You know what I'm saying? She knows she hurting gods. You understand what I'm saying? And gods be feeling themselves and all that. So we be having to deal with all of the, the God stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So we are a part of the dynamic Dream Team, Starseed, Dream Team, Pronoia Starseed podcast season 6 crew, and we're doing our own reflection thing. We here with the God, man, King Adonnis. You understand what I'm saying? King Adonnis, you know what I'm saying? Like King Adonnis, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't look. You understand? Like, he's doing it. And we getting into his walk, getting into his journey, getting into his coming into being. So I'm going to play something, especially for him. I just want to get his response and his breakdown, and we're going to be right back. You know what I'm saying? So I see Karmic Destiny. Who else? You got some dope people coming through your channel. They was like, yo, my name is Karmic Destiny. You understand what I'm saying? Jesus the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, damn, like what? Like, all right, let me step my game up, man. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, for real. We'll be right back in the building with King Adonnis. We vibing. You know what I'm saying? Vibing and thriving. So let me do this real quick.
Once upon a rhyme, after teaching, number 1, I trained the next godly elixir, the ways of the imperial bear style. This is his story.
Story of the Guardian, the General, Kill Ripken. Yeah, bear with me. The clock stopped when Father sparked my creation. After 9 months, I came out of hibernation. Circle 7 forms my constellation. Compile thoughts like a compilation. Peace, no confrontation. Envision victory, no misery. Strictly learning self, health is wealth. DNA is antiquity. From Tripoli to Sicily, beyond infinity. Nobility, had angels celebrating my nativity. Born competent, confident, took every praise as a compliment. In the vast estate, I'm an occupant. Once owned slaves on the continent, that's my past life. I remember hard to gaslight. Loved as a cub, little black bear, they call me Makwa. Found truth in the heart chakra, 6th house realm watcher. Free as a furlough, bear in mind I'm a Virgo. Timid and shy, sparks fly like an inferno. Turn heads, never a turncoat. When I do business, give a firm quote. Earn dough, sipping Merlot. Accordingly, I represent God's authority. Compassionate, reliable, upright, morally, reportedly. They selling people hope, no warranty. Build and destroy, they really don't want war with me. In a habitat with hostile hearts, adapted to science and martial arts. Trained to go dart for dart, shrine to my dojo. Solo, attack with 2 swords, Miyamoto. Mystic Miles and Mojo. Never fear y'all, one of my styles, bear claw, grizzly. Dismantle threats quickly, speak wrath of God certainly. Bear the load, ruled by Mercury. Teach a leader, knowing what my purpose be. Ability to keep fighting wounded, repair cells like Wolverine between material and unseen. symbolize the consequence of disobedience. Elixir number 2, this the main ingredient. I keep feeding it. I call your bluff, though I run with killers at night. Sweet science, master the art of a wilderness life. Amongst lions and wolves, you know gorillas and hyenas. With fellas and misdemeanors, and tell when they subpoenaed. Intel makes me a creature of detail. Some pray we fell, the force too strong, we prevail.
Trained in the art of discipline, I left the young bear in the middle of the woods alone at night until its sounds and smells became that of home. Raised amongst bears who accepted him as one of their own. Hill learned their ways. In time, he would be ready to defend the land against foreign invaders seeking to colonize the vast Moorish estates.
Represent a rebirth, a resurrection, seek perfection. Care for my loved ones, no exception, I'm protection. Papa Bear, honored to be of service. Brute strength along with my size, Big Mo's nervous. Patience, innocence, building inner strength. Linked with the natives, no coincidence. Striving to keep my innocence. Enemies who plan my demise got dealt with. Kills a bull in a china shop, I can't help it. Turn greener than a Celtic, Berserko from gold hurt foes. Every day I grind, no stopping my workflow. 72 chambers if you brave enough enter. My style's chin out, no competition, I'm the winner. Break bones, rip joints and ligaments. 5 deadly blackamoors, militant, administrating due diligence. Once fought 5 foes of man, preventing them from snatching up the souls of man. Victims of a stolen land. Taught the tree of life by energy, but resonate lyrically. Demonstrate spiritually and civically. Kills a mystery, witness my mythos, it's my story. Rhyme minister, got live wires to die for me. Play my position, my defense is 85 bears. Added to my arsenal, kick hats and snares. No fear. Witness the bear, yeah.
After finding his own way through the forest to find the cavern of the immortal giant, he drank the potion, and the second godly elixir was reborn with enhanced abilities, derived from his training and time amongst the bears. With the lion and bear, it was time to take on number 3, the electrical Elohim. We are one step closer to defeating the alchemist and rescuing the calligrapher. There's so much I wish I could tell you now, but that is a priesthood tale for yet another day.
Shout out to the Guardian Kill Ripken. You understand what I'm saying? We telling stories, royal priestess stories. You understand? That's the second godly elixir out of 4. You know what I mean? So your thoughts, your ideas, what came to you, what's coming from you. You know what I mean? Talk to us.
Gratitude. There's so many. I love the power of music. Music saved my life, actually. There was a time where a lot of different energies were seeking to get me at the same time. And one thing I've learned from living with my mom is that, or being a mirror of the mother, is that you can't be in 2 places at the same time. And just for recognition and honor, we just stepped into over here on the East Coast at 9:07, the moon hour or moon aura began. So we are now in a different energy, planetary rulership speaking, and reflecting on the emotions. So everything is in divine alignment. As the song and the music was playing, it always speaks to the memory. It speaks to the messages in the water. Shout out to Masaru Emoto for bringing that wisdom for us. And the messages in the water really spoke to me around the bear, because the bear is Canis Major and Minor. And for me, my mom's contact name in my phone for the longest time has always been Mama Bear. And one of my favorite memories is me sitting in the bed with my mother as an infant or child, watching Sesame Street. But after Sesame Street came on was Cartoon Network. And Cartoon Network had what was it? Yogi Bear, who was smarter than the average bear. And in cardology, the word bear is a king of spades in the card of the name. And the king of spades is the energy of God or the dog. And I just had a dream of a bunch of dogs, but I ain't gonna get into that right now. But the video, it really spoke to me around the power of the royal priesthood, because we grew up in the church, right? One of my favorite artists is Mali Music, and what song comes to mind is the power of the chosen people, who were at one point just viewed as unequal, but his own chosen people is a royal priesthood, and we are royalty. And before one of my baby cousins was born, my mother had royalty tatted on her hand. And then I had a baby cousin come through, a little Aquarian gem. Love her so much. Her name's Royalty. And we are the, like, not for superficial recognition, but for the Gullah Geechee ancestors and like from my Gullah Geechee grandmothers who were tilling the gardens for folks that were for people other than their own, because they had to 9/11, because they had to have that spiritual mastery of being able to give born. They had the spiritual the knowledge to create the foundations to bring into form the melodies. There's a video on my Instagram page back when I was an exquisite stepper in college of me swinging Swing Low, Sweet Chariot, coming forth to carry me home. And the chariot is the Cancer card in the tarot. And the home is the fourth house, that's the family. And the 7 and the 4, that is that's the dragon's head and the tail. My mother taught me that I am the head and not the tail. And in that expression of form, this is how we express change. And we count up, because it's a numbers game. And when one recognizes how to flow and knows their internal authority, the music speaks to us in so many more ways than one can know. Also, with that being said, one message that came through before the song was about the Starseed mother herding the cats. And on one of my very first mushroom experiences, the music, Lord, I give thanks. The music was so powerful, because I had my healing pyramids. And with the power of the pyramid is the fire in the middle, or your pyrite, your fool's gold. But fool is a wise man, or a fool can be a fool, and he'll be a wise in that. But knowing that the journey has been completed through the whole, tarot, metaphysically speaking, the sun, came to me and showed me a vision during my mushroom experience, where I was flying. It was like Thundercats. It was like I was looking to my right. It was like 1 on the right, and it was like 3 on the left, and flip that. And I remember seeing I remember hearing my wings beat. I remember flying so fast. I remember greeting the Light Council and recognizing that position in like high councils of light, the Galactic Federation, and like being a general, being born in the year of the dragon. And knowing that the Sophia, the wisdoms of Mary Magdalene and the mother, were invoked in a past space, because it was already encoded within our DNA. And then being able to tap into those different realms, I heard it gave birth to you, to the new. And that was the new me that be. I be trying to speak English, and then sometimes it just speaks out poetically. But that's just the channel in recognition of how, like, we come together in so many different ways. And prophetic displays of, like, enlightenment of awareness as well. it shows how experiences, how the memory, how the music brings us all together, no matter where we're at.
I hear the bars. Okay. I hear the bars. The bars bring out the bars. Okay. So you and Mr. Westbrook think y'all slick, man. You understand what I'm saying? But if it's out there, I'ma find it. You know what I'm saying? So he already stunned it on us with the master astrologist Raku, right? Just over here, right? And then over here, he dealing with the master numerologist Lord Straighthorn. So you and Mr. Westbrook's, y'all ain't slick, okay, fam? All right? Y'all ain't slick. Y'all are slick, but y'all ain't slick because I'm going to find it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to find it. He just on camera, stunting, sitting down with the master numerologist, Lord Straighthorn. Just like, yeah, son. You know what I'm saying? What you were saying, son, real quick. You know what I'm saying? Don't look too much. It ain't none of y'all business all the way. Let's give you a little drop. You know, it's a little droplet right there. You understand what I'm saying? So just, you know what I'm saying? Break that experience down for me, man, with the mastermind, the master number man, Mr. Number Man. Lord, you understand what I'm saying?
Wait, that was wait. I think I got that reading right here. Actually, I keep it close by. That was profound because it literally he was the first person that told me that I'm going nowhere soon, that I am gonna be old as dirt, and he also told me that I have all three of the psychic numbers, being the 2, the 7, and the 6, and it was also a very profound message for that time space in my life, because that was before I went to Puerto Rico. So I was in that space of, I was 22 years old when I got that reading, and I was in 2013. I think I was in a 6 year as well. 20, yeah. So it was, oh yeah, yep. There was a lot of crownings happening around my personal vortex, and that reading specifically was like my permission slip, or not even permission slip, but my recognition of the name and the power of my name. So my first name is Timothy, and Timothy in the Chaldean adds up to 26, and 26 is into the 8. And he said that if you ask any Jewish person, the rabbi or a rabbi, that would be the number or the association to Jehovah or God. And with that revelation, it was confirmation on another psychedelic experience that I had, where I was literally running around this house, be like, "Mama, I'm Jehovah." Like, if you ask my mom, she'll tell you herself. Like, I've been through a lot of conscious realms and places, because they say heaven is a place on earth, and I keep that in my heart.
The bars, okay? Heaven is a place on earth, and I keep it in my heart. Y'all heard it, damn it. Wake up. Wake up. You know what I'm saying? So when our R&B elders was like, I got heaven right here on earth. You understand what I'm saying? That's where some of us came from. You understand what I'm saying? They was climbing that stairway to heaven, okay, and they was going step by step. You understand what I'm saying? They was climbing that stairway to heaven. All right. So,
So let's ring the bell. We gotta. I feel like, let me just go ahead and ring the bell for us.
I'm talking about ring the alarm. Ring the alarm. All right. Clear the energy up. Look. True to power. We got in our fields real quick. You know what I'm saying? We got in our fields real quick. You know what I'm saying? Look. So synchronicity. I had just got a notification while we was building that Raku is on with, you know, Brother Rich, Black Magic 363. You know what I'm saying? Like this, just like, man, I don't be getting notifications, man. We don't be getting notifications, man. It just works like that. It just works like that.
Sometimes
Okay,
the
so
synchronicities be so like impactful or so much. Sometimes it's what spirit has brought me into the space now is just being and being able to just see
mm,
the synchronicities without having to grasp or attach to them all in like too intensely or in such a strong way. Because the more that we detach, the more that we make space for the universe to bring us more of those miracles. I always say that I'm in miracle territory.
uh, I heard what he said. I'm in miracle territory. You understand what I'm saying? And miracles is in my territory. You know what I'm saying? I'm in miracle territory, and she is in my territory. Okay, because won't she do it? Okay, won't she do it? You know
Every
what I'm
time,
saying?
every
Won't she do it every time? Okay, every time. So yeah, tell us about the Rose Corner. You know what I'm saying? Tell us about the Rose Corner and the work you're doing over there, and then tell us what you're doing this season, season 6, at Pronoia Starseed podcast. You know what I'm saying?
shout out to the Dream Team. Shout out to the Pronoia Starseed University. Here on YouTube, everybody needs to run, don't walk, to press the subscribe button so that you can get the downloads, the channels, transmissions. Like no other place have I experienced like consistent education and wisdom and personal service as well, because where else you getting free readings on Tarot Tuesdays? Those is hot spots. But for the Rose Corner, this on season 6, the Rose Corner is a Jack of Hearts energy. So it is bringing in the energy of Christmas, bringing in anointings and the Christos energy, where we are allowing the most High Spirit, God, Goddess, Source, Almighty, I Am presence to flow and bring us the clarity and confirmations and synchronizations through what I'm hearing is the Sophia code, which is like wisdom and knowledge and initiations to take us out a space of sacrifice, but to be obedient. Because my mother taught me that being obedient is better than sacrifice. So by being obedient to Source, to the Most High, to Spirit, and utilizing the different skills and the tools and the mysticisms and the gnosis that we've been given to empower ourselves, to keep myself accountable, and to like, because that's the only way I can do it for others, is to be able to keep myself accountable in such a fashion that allows me to be able to show up in the Rose Corner spaces so that I can give to others in my 9 of Diamonds universal giver card of resources, being able to give that energy in space recognition. Because as we are flowing and going through this life, nothing is going to be the same. And what I'm recalling now is The Ancient Future by Wayne Chandler. And in the ancient future, we are becoming, like, as society, as I see it now, society is becoming so desensitized, demoralized by the over consumption of the technological advancements. And what I see from my people is that they are getting half-assed, respectfully. They are being misguided. Like, I literally have had teachers tell me that they know that they were consciously doing the people wrong. And I had to separate myself from those individuals so that I could be that light to bring the people, like, there's no secrets. There's no more hidden agendas. There's no more like lies. Everything is available. It's accessible. But people don't have the gnosis or the know-how. And it's fun to have fun, but you have to know how. And that's one of my inner jokes for the Parent Trap.
That's a bar and a half. Okay, look. We got a few minutes left because in 6 minutes, you and I gonna be in the chat over there
Yes,
with the
yes,
human design specialist, Claudia. So we, we have to wrap it up, B. I was trying to take my time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yeah, we gotta wrap it up, B, because we gonna be over there in the
yes.
chat getting fed because the human design expert is gonna be in the building. You know what I'm saying? Goddess Claudia over there. Shout out to the goddess Rael, the starseed mother, the starseed gatherer, the starseed whisperer. You know what I'm saying? Getting this all together. Like she rung the bell. Like you know what I'm saying? At the time that if you don't be over here, you ain't gonna get fed. You know what I'm
Yep, yep,
saying?
yep,
So
yep.
yeah,
I got the
definitely.
perfect energy to close this
So
out. Wow, we have aha moments.
yes, give us that energy to close us out. Boom,
And
boom.
epiphanies that sing at dawn. This is an awakening. This is potential, and this is a new direction. We have miracles with the sovereignty of magic. This is the fifth card of my guides of the hidden realm deck that I keep close to me for the synchronicities and for the spiritual forces. What I'm feeling called to speak on is that to know that everybody is in their right space and place, knowing that everything is happening for the energy of the pronoia, knowing that energy is conspiring in our favor, and that in this universal 1 year, there's new opportunities, new beginnings, new experiences, new challenges, and it's all for our benefit, for our growth, and for our health and wholeness. Hellenistic astrology came to mind, the concepts, right? Because the mystery we are seeing through uncharted territory with deep inner knowing. So honoring our own inner authorities, honoring our intuition, and everybody run, don't walk for the human design Pronoia Starseed podcast happening in quick soon. So much gratitude. I would like to say gratitude to our bodies, to the ancestors, to the space to give and receive and share the information and unlocking new power, potential, and possibilities all around the lamb in the realm. We also have treasures. And getting the shadow work done. Ashe. This is enough for now and always. It says that
Yeah, he
they
coming back. Somebody was like, "Is he coming back?" Yeah, he coming back. Okay, they like, well, make sure that he come back. You don't gotta come back, okay? But make sure he come back. I'm like, all right, don't be punking me while I'm on live. They's like, all right. So King Adonnis will be back over here. You understand? You know what I'm saying? The King Leonidas, the ones who ignites us and unites us, is coming back over here. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'll be coming up with my own names. You know what I'm saying? So the King Leonidas, the one that ignites us and unites us, known as King Adonis to the planet, will be back over here. You understand what I'm saying? Be back over here next month. If it ain't sooner, well, I know for sure, we already got the after show popping. You understand what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah.
tune in to Pronoia Starseed podcast. It's about to go up. Tell people where they can find you, how they can uh, utilize the services, social media, all of that. And if you got a final word, please do so.
I am accessible for my people. I am here in the now present time for divine time and divinely alignment. And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at Dev Leo Adonis. That's DEVLEOH Adonis with two N's, ADONNIS, like it has on the screen. So again, that's Dev Leo Adonis, DEVLEOH Adonis. And that is the development of the sun from the beauty of I am. Adonis is the beauty of the gods that we walk amongst. As I am a reflection of you, we give gratitude to you, your body, your ancestors, and to the work being done in every eternal now present as an eternal rose. So much love and much gratitude. I'm about to have
perverted, corrupted science itself. Because at one time it was just the science of living and surviving here on this planet. Science of life.
Cause you were started, you read it in my creation. I'm God Zodiac, I'm made from constellation. My brain is a bomb waiting, a flame, an abomination. No change in the bomber's nation, just some more dollars placed in the pockets of Satan. While I walk amongst the blind, explaining chakras to the cavemen. I'm locking from the grave, sending doctors to the shamans. Scientists ashamed, they getting knowledge from the pagans. I'm in the bond with militant, philosophical, diligent builders aiming for spots in the lost nation. I mean the all in all, the cream of God hopped and rise to the occasion. Surprised that we invading your time's finished, diminished. I'm live from the awakening. Cameras on tilt as I flex my success. I'm fly, look what I built. Smooth just like silk in the groove. You might built if your lotus ain't focused and sewn just like a quilt. From the needle to the record to the laser. My behavior resembles the high sev. You see my 2 fingers up, yelling peace to the gods. Waving by to the haters, standing on the black dot in the center of my square. In the middle of the circle, I designed the creator. Khalifa when I speak through the speaker. Thoughts of a magician is lost in mysticism that reached the non-believer. I shine in your theater.
The clock was already moving before you saw the wheels turn.
I-A-K, you send it to MC for the record. Each song is the part that makes me. Signs of the time, the future I foresee. K-A-Z-O-D. I-A-K, you send it to MC for the record. Each song is the part that makes me. Wheel of the spirit, the stars, the deities. Who's better than this? Intelligentness. Clouds like I pass heaven to split. Killing cops, shame your treacherousness. You serve the devil, you're protecting the myth. Professional hitman, I spit excellence. I connect you to bliss. Grab this pebble from my hand and I let you exist. But if you don't, well, I spit a ghost spell. Get off my coattails. My coach is our God. I live it so well. The life of a G as high as can be. Your soul model, what your role model aspires to be. True boss life. In order to lead, you need foresight. We can't rich the PRT. We ain't poor, right? Error of the rich righteous. That fix the crisis of the terror of the mid-lifeless. The myth virus infecting the whole planet. Infected the globe is medic depressing. My soul answers the questions. I'm like Osiris flying in the gold-plated sky disc with no pilot. Kingdom of heaven, you can walk through my gate but speak certainty. Silence is a virtuous trait. I was more amazing, I ain't have to learn to be great. When every child's born, they ain't have to learn to create. Cause when it feels rejected, that's when love turns into hate. God leap through a hole within space. Welcome to my dimension. When you think of the God, well, I'm the guy you mentioned. Z-O-D, I-A-K, you send it to MC for the record. Each song is a part that makes me. Signs of the time, future I foresee. K-A-Z-O-D, I-A-K, you send it to MC for the record. Each song is a part that makes me. Wheel of the spirit, the star, the spirit, the star, the spirit, the star.
You're not ready for that.
Wheel of the spirit, the star, the spirit, the star, the spirit,
the dynamic of all is in that wheel. And discover that shit. You just ain't ready to take on that dimension.
We just really regurgitate
what the creators already know.
No matter how we try to spin it, it's the same wheel.
Here, the centuries of loneliness were to end. Your collection of Leonardo da Vinci masterpieces, Mr. Flint. They appear to have been recently painted on contemporary canvas with contemporary materials. Then, age, death, the taste of dust. Do you understand? You wanted a perfect, ultimate woman. As brilliant, as immortal as yourself. Your mate for all time.
Merkaba master, I charted demons to other worlds, drop devils to plaster, rush them to hell, breathing asthma, place Satan on gurneys next to Hermes, send them off to their journey to Cleopatra. They read those chapters, egos captured, the Leo laughter, neoplasma, run through my veins in this matrix, and my basement became a plaza. And now I'm in the Sky Lounge with negative spirit hackers, build on math and we read the chapters, observe through our windows at the quiet disasters, riots at NASA, marches, gender pride, freedom rights for the masses, till we do away with first and second citizen classes. Religion is backwards, trying to comprehend to the pastor. This gym is like Jasper. Either we all live and strive for the youth to survive, or it all ends with the rapture. Forget waiting on the man, I'm making a plan. And for the ages of false statements, I'm taking a stand. Start an investigation on Satan with a cross in my hand. Make him plead guilty, now face the jury. We're in the courts of I am. If I could just vanish from off the planet, like magic, become caught from granite. Days, mathematics is understanding.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
A billion stories in the naked city. Ghost told me that his best friend needs a kidney. We froze, reminiscing Tiffany in the cold. Open whiskey from the 20s, in the memory. Sympathy made the angels play a symphony. Said he could've had a scholarship, toured different colleges. Now he's out of it, faded away slowly on dialysis. His name remained anonymous, but here's my acknowledgements. Street legends and hood guards. Kingdom fall into a mirage. Ghetto depression sets in. Then we place weed and cigars. A child has difficulties concentrating. From where he lives, he sees his promises fading. He sees his pops gone, his mom's is aging. She trying to stay strong for a church congregation. And meanwhile, a kid named Rico was the coke king. A lot of siblings of the dope fiends hope you scream. A lot of children with broken dreams, homes were clean. The most extreme, you got rich and what you sold to queens. Look what you did to Josephine. And Ebony is unheavenly. The devil's ready with open wings. As Lucifer uses love and his youthful mug. Then his blood on the cobra's fangs.
Hey, hey, did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear. Did you hear? This is the perfect place to disappear.
Through the mid